What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Red Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE fans unhappy with Jey Uso's win, the real reason behind Jey Uso's win over LA Knight, WWE makes major changes to Raw, WWE on ESPN is a flop, WWE refused to help a dying wrestler, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the show, but we will provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. And yes, there is a downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Seth surrenders the title. Now it is official, Seth Rollins is no longer World Heavyweight Champion. WWE would explain on Raw that the Vision aggravated Rollins' shoulder injury from Crown Jewel, and he's now on the shelf indefinitely. Whilst it's not the most creative storyline in the world, it does present the Vision as incredibly strong and gives Rollins a natural babyface arc when he returns. It's also pretty crazy that both the Women's and Men's World Heavyweight Championships have been vacated in 2025, and there's some similarities. Both won the Money in the Bank ladder match, both won their cash-ins, and both got pregnant. No, wait a minute. No, just Naomi got pregnant, Rollins is injured. Number 2, new champions. Now at last, we have new tag team champions, as Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, who fans are hilariously labeling as AJ Lee, took the titles from the Judgment Day in a great matchup. Let's be fair, the Judgment Day's reign has been utterly appalling, and hopefully WWE commit to having Lee and AJ defend the titles on a regular basis, as the Judgment Day only had 2 defenses in 112 odd days. Number 3, Becky's promo. Despite being a heel, Becky Lynch thankfully took issue with fellow heel Paul Heyman masterminding the attack on her husband Seth Rollins. Lynch would confront Heyman backstage, calling him a penguin-faced prick, and the two had an intense showdown. This is the type of booking that WWE needs, as continuity and logic shouldn't go out the window just because 2 talents happen to be on the same side of the moral compass. Number 4, Dom's face turn is definitely coming. Dominic Mysterio is slowly but surely turning into one of the most popular acts in the company. The Eddie Guerrero-esque gimmick is getting insanely over with the audience, and his Intercontinental title reign is truly starting to cook, and is Nikki turning heel. And Nikki Bella made a return to WWE programming last night, making the save for world champion Stephanie McMahon as she was being attacked by the Judgment Day. Nikki received a thunderous pop from the live crowd, and fans are theorizing that Nikki is going to turn heel and set her sights on the women's world title. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, where is AJ Lee? There's another week with that AJ Lee. Well, we mean the women's wrestler. AJ reportedly signed a full-time WWE deal, but she's been completely absent from WWE programming since WrestlePalooza. No explanation has been offered to where AJ is, which is incredibly frustrating as a viewer. Well, that was the good. The bad. What about the downright ugly? As Jey again? CM Punk's opponent for Saturday night's main event would be decided in a battle royal, and in typical WWE fashion, they decided to go with main event Jey Uso as the winner. This has caused significant backlash online, as fans are questioning why WWE have yet again gone with Jey in the world title scene, as it feels rather stale at this point in time. WWE would have Jey eliminate both LA Knight and Jimmy Uso simultaneously, which naturally furthered the established issues between the two brothers. A lot of fans were pushing for LA to get his moment, and Punk vs LA would have been a huge match to headline Saturday night's main event next month. Unfortunately, WWE is still obsessed with the Jey Uso Inner Turmoil storyline. While it's virtually guaranteed that Punk wins the world title next month, it wouldn't come as too much of a surprise to see WWE go all the way with Jey's heel tendencies and have him cheat to win. What do you guys think of Jey's win? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Now, first story today looks at WWE fans unhappy with Jey Uso's win. Now, our top story today takes a look at the fallout from Raw as WWE officially stripped Seth Rollins of the world title. As expected, Rollins was stripped of the world title on Raw, and a new champion will be crowned next month at Saturday night's main event. The world title will be decided between CM Punk and Jey Uso, and to say that the reaction to Jey becoming number 1 contender is negative is an understatement. On WWE's YouTube upload of the match, it's obtained over 27,000 dislikes and counting. It's probably going to be more when this video is edited, which is a sign that fans are furious with WWE's call to have Jey Uso win and become number 1 contender. What was wrong with LA Knight winning? Well, as you imagine, there's actually a reason behind Jey Uso's win. Now, all signs pointed at WWE having Bron Breakker versus CM Punk for the world title at Saturday night's main event. Due to Breakker walking off with the world title last week and him parading the title on social media, it was an easy setup, but at the start of Raw, Breakker was forced to give the title back to Raw GM Adam Pearce. It was then more obvious at that point that WWE would go with LA Knight, but they decided to go with JEY USO. But why exactly is this? Well, firstly, Jay is still insanely over with the audience, so it is a safe bet from Triple H to give him the nod. Jay has become one of Triple H's most reliable talents, and the chances of him ever being moved out of the main event picture are extremely thin. Additionally, assuming that Punk is winning the world title next month, Jay is definitely a name that can afford a clean pinfall loss. Jay is a name that consistently remains over despite losing on TV, so if Jay takes a loss at the show next month, it won't exactly hinder his popularity or his connection with the audience. Whilst there was a vocal push from fans to see LA Knight get his moment, LA Knight has been incredibly protected on TV over the past 6 weeks or so WWE may wish to avoid him being pinned. It has been rumored that LA Knight is eventually going to get his world title win, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to happen in 2025. Naturally, this can be frustrating for fans, as we've seen time and time again over the years, insanely popular wrestlers just never receive their special moment. Hopefully, Triple H realizes just how special of a talent Knight is, and he does indeed have major plans for the popular star. Jay being in the world title match also furthers his inner turmoil storyline. Jay would even throw out Jimmy Uso in the Battle Royal, so Jay is doing whatever it takes once again to reach the top of WWE. In fact, Naomi had some pretty sus advice for Big Jim, telling him all it takes is one car, one push. Now still, Jay could even attempt to cheat in that match with Punk, and if he loses the match, which does seem likely, it'll create further tension with Roman Reigns. Reigns is set to return next month on the road to Survivor Series, and Reigns, seeing that Jay failed to get the job done against one of his arch rivals, could create a tense yet compelling dynamic. It's still unclear what exactly WWE has planned for War Games next month. Due to Rollins being injured, the planned Vision vs Team Punk storyline has likely been dropped. Where does this leave big names such as Reigns? Well, time will only tell. Another factor is that the match has emerged just out of nowhere. Seth Rollins' injury only surfaced last weekend, so WWE had little time to build a new feud or a matchup. Jay and Punk have established issues on TV, so from Triple H's perspective, this match probably made the most sense, even if it did get fans angry about the situation. Next up, WWE makes major changes to Raw. Now it appears that plans involving Seth Rollins being stripped of the world title on Raw didn't go down as initially intended. According to WrestleVotes on X, the original plans were to play out differently, but creative changes were implemented at the last moment. A source backstage at WWE Raw in Sacramento tells me there were a lot of late changes to the opening segment where Adam Pearce stripped Seth Rollins of the World Heavyweight Championship. Original plans had things playing out differently than what we ultimately saw on screen. Now, although the report doesn't add what the original plans were, we can assume that the segment was always going to lead to Rollins being stripped of the title due to his injury. Could have been different in the way Bron Breakker would hand over the world title to Adam Pearce, as that segment just felt really awkward. Next up, the truth behind Jacob Fatu's injury. Jacob Fatu was written off TV on SmackDown last week, and although it was initially reported that the former US champion could be out for a long time, it's now been since reported that that isn't the case. Fatu is out of action due to having a dental procedure, and according to Brian Alvarez on the Wrestling Observer Live, Fatu could be back in time for Survivor Series War Games. They did an angle to get him out of the match. He was laying in a pool of his own blood and teeth, and there were teeth all over the place. He needs some sort of surgery, something involving his teeth. He will be back by Survivor Series weekend, so he's going to be out for a while. There is somewhat positive news as Survivor Series is next month, and Fatu could easily reignite his rivalry with Drew McIntyre on the Blue brand. Next up, WWE on ESPN is a complete flop. Last month, WWE presented their first show on ESPN, WrestlePalooza. Despite WWE actively marketing the show as an event that was going to be on par with a Big 4 PLE, the event received negative reviews from fans overall. In fact, so far it's been the worst PLE of 2025. And now it's surfaced that the event has completely flopped, and ESPN may be regretting their deal with WWE. On the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer stated that the new ESPN platform reached 2.1 million total subscribers, and WrestlePalooza reportedly only added around 100,000 to 125,000 subscribers. If every month ends up kinda like this one, it's worth $35 million a year. Now they're spending $325 million a year for $35 million a year of revenue coming from having these WWE events, which is a very bad number. That's why these companies are losing lots of money on this type of stuff, with the idea that down the road we will get 50 million subscribers paying $30. We'll be able to afford all of this. This should raise major alarm bells for WWE. ESPN can't be happy with these numbers, and seeing the star power that was attached to the show, this had to be considered one of WWE's biggest failures in recent memory. Next up, WWE ready to push Austin Theory. Now remember those rumors of Austin Theory being involved in the War Games match? Well, they were somewhat true. As WrestleVotes recently reported, there are still voices within WWE pushing to keep Austin Theory involved in the creative plans even after the recent shuffling caused by Seth Rollins' injury. The idea of Theory joining the Vision was at least discussed, and he still has internal support moving forward to reappear on TV in a significant manner. WWE really has to do something drastic to make Austin Theory look like a believable star. His booking after defeating John Cena just went straight down the toilet. Next up, WWE refused to help a dying wrestler. Now, news dropped yesterday relating to the passing of former WWE star Mo from Men on a Mission. Now, unfortunately, it's also been revealed that Mo reached out to WWE to help with funds for a transplant, and WWE outright refused. It was reported on the Observer Radio stating, he was bitter at WWE, he needed $30,000 down to get the transplant. He went to WWE and said, you send me a letter every year that says you'll pay for rehab. I don't have a drug problem, I need a kidney. It'll cost you a lot less than rehab. WWE's policy is only to pay for drug rehab. That's it, not cancer treatment, not organ transplants, and a lot of the other guys got turned down too. Steve Williams with cancer, others, so Mo was told no. And this is definitely a policy that WWE should maybe review, as it's literally a drop in the ocean for WWE, and helping out a former star with their medical expenses isn't exactly going to put them out of business. We can understand from maybe WWE's perspective that if one wrestler reaches out to them, a number of wrestlers are going to reach out to them for maybe even minor things. WWE isn't a charity after all, but still wrestlers who did wrestle for them, putting their bodies on the line, should be taken care of. And finally, John Cena appears at the WWE PC. Now, final story today takes a look at WWE great John Cena making a surprise appearance at the WWE Performance Center. Recently, Cena stopped off at the Performance Center, and this was revealed thanks to numerous NXT talents including Blake Monroe, Izzy Dame, and Nikita Lyons all sharing photos from the visit. Cena was likely there to coach and mentor the NXT talents, and it's surprising that this didn't leak online, as Cena making an appearance of any kind is a huge deal. Cena would even take to X to state, thank you to everyone at the WWE PC for allowing me to learn from our incredibly gifted future. Staying curious and open-minded is a gateway for new knowledge and ideas. Anytime I get to spend with the president and future of the business, I love challenges the way I see it, and I'll always leave with new perspectives. I can't express how meaningful these visits are for me, truly grateful. Now, although Cena is retiring at the end of the year, he has confirmed that he will be making subsequent WWE cameos, so he could be making more appearances at the WWE PC. But there you have it, folks, our look at Raw as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.